have the prepositional phrase here now, and it says the prepositional phrases begin with a preposition, which is usually followed by first a determiner, then a noun pronoun. So let's not worry much about what exactly is a determiner here followed by what. We'll simply take what is a prepositional phrase. Anything that comes after a preposition becomes a part of the prepositional phrase, and usually after the preposition you would generally have a noun or a pronoun or a gerund, right? So look at this now. I know everything about him. Now, which is the preposition here? The word about is the preposition here, right? I know everything about. And what is this basically? This is the object of the preposition, and it is a pronoun. So I know everything about him. This becomes basically a prepositional phrase. About him is the prepositional phrase in which about is the preposition and the pronoun him is the object of the preposition, right? So I know everything about him. About whom? About him. So this entire thing is a prepositional phrase where we have the preposition followed by the pronoun, which is the object of the preposition. And let's take a bigger example, a longer version of that. I know everything about the man sitting in the extreme right corner, right? So you have basically I know everything about, right? About the man. And this is the preposition, this is the object of the preposition, and this object, which is the noun, has further a set of modifiers. And who is this man? The man sitting in the extreme right corner. So this sitting in the extreme right corner is basically modifying the man. So I know everything about the man. And who is that man? That man is sitting in the extreme right corner. What kind of man? The one sitting in the extreme right corner. So this entire thing is the prepositional phrase. And within this prepositional phrase, we have a preposition followed by the noun the man. And this further is followed by what we call as a modifying phrase, and this again has a name. This is basically a participial phrase modifying the man. About the man sitting in the extreme right hand corner is a prepositional phrase in which about is the preposition. The object of the preposition is the noun man followed by a set of modifiers. This is the set of modifiers modifying the man, right? The hamburgers on the table are very tasty. So the hamburgers are very tasty. This is basically the main idea, right? What kind of hamburgers? The one that were on the table and not in the kitchen, right? On the table is the prepositional phrase in which on is the preposition followed by the modifier the and the noun man, correct? Which is the object of the preposition, right? So, so the hamburgers on the table are very tasty, and this basically is something not there here, right? The tables, which is so the hamburgers on the table. So on is the preposition and the table is basically the object of the preposition, right? So on the table is the prepositional phrase. I can't think of, and what you can't think of? Eating pizza at this hour of the night. So I can't think of something. I can't think of you. I can't think of her, right? I can't think of what? Eating pizza. When? At this hour of the night. Of eating pizza at this hour of the night is a prepositional phrase in which of is the preposition followed by the gerund eating, which is the object of the preposition, right? So here we have of. What is the object of the preposition? Eating. Here we have on. What is the object of preposition? Table. Here we have about. What is the object of the preposition? The man, right? Here we have about. What is the object of preposition? Him. And similarly here, I know everything about. And what is the object of preposition? What you did last night. This whole thing is basically the object, which is nothing but the clause, right? So I know everything about what you did last. So about what you did last night is the preposition phrase in which about is the preposition followed by the clause what you did last night, which is the object of the preposition. So basically what happened, you have a preposition, and after the preposition you have the object of the preposition, because immediately after the preposition there has to be an object. We have seen in all the examples we have an object, him. Here we have the man. Here we have the table. Here we have I can't think of what, of eating pizza. So basically this eating pizza is the object of the preposition. Here we have I know everything about what, about this whole thing. So after the preposition you have an object, and that object can be a noun, that object can be a pronoun, that object can be a gerund, right? We have seen a gerund. What is that gerund here? Eating pizza. Now this eating pizza is basically the gerund. So we have the noun, the pronoun, the gerund, and also we can have a clause as the object of preposition. What is this clause? What you did last night. I know everything that you think about, or something like this. So here we have a clause acting like a object of preposition, right? So this is what we have about prepositional phrase. There's one more thing which is very important, and that is punctuation in the prepositional phrase. We'll take this in the next slide. It says that when a sentence begins with a prepositional phrase that is too long, then there must be a comma at the end of the phrase. So usually we see that the sentence does not begin with a prepositional phrase. So you will say that I know everything about him, correct? Or you might say, about him, I know everything, correct? So here, if you shift the prepositional phrase at the start of the sentence, you may have to put a comma. But then it says when a sentence begins with a prepositional phrase that is too long, then there must be a comma at the end of the phrase to separate the subsequent syntactic unit from the. So basically, about him, we can put a comma. But then we have not put a comma because the phrase is too small. If the phrase is too small, you can do away with the comma. But if the phrase is too long, like this one, of all the people that I have come across, George is the most sincere. So here we have put a comma, we have put a punctuation mark because the punctuation mark indicates the end of a prepositional phrase. Of all the people that I have come across, comma, George is the most sincere. Since the prepositional phrase that starts with the sentence is too long, we must put a comma indicating the end of the phrase. About him, comma, I know everything. Though the second sentence begins with the prepositional phrase about him, we don't need a comma as the phrase is too short and does not create any confusion. So, if the phrase is too short and does not create any confusion, there is no need for a comma. But if the phrase is long and might create some kind of confusion, you put a comma at the end of the phrase. This is one of the rules of punctuation marks, right? This is all about prepositional phrase. Let's take the other.